Good evening. Tonight, we're diving into a question that's on almost everyone's mind. Are your bills actually shrinking, or does it just sound that way on the news? Remember to like and subscribe for more Money Smart Basics videos. If you have any suggestions for financial literacy topics, please leave a comment. We often hear that the economy is improving and inflation is slowing down. Headlines and politicians talk about progress, and experts point to numbers that seem to show things are getting better. But when you sit down at your own kitchen table and look at your grocery receipts, your electricity bill, or your rent notice, do you really feel like you're paying less? For most people, the answer is no. For many families, the pressure on their budget hasn't eased at all. In fact, some say it feels even tighter than before, with every dollar stretched to cover the basics. If the economy is supposedly getting better, why doesn't it feel that way at home? Why do so many people still feel like they're falling behind, even as the headlines say things are improving? The truth is, big economic numbers, like GDP growth or national inflation rates, don't always match your daily reality. What you experience at the checkout line or when you pay your rent can be very different from what's reported on TV. During the first year of the Trump administration, there was a lot of talk about economic growth and relief for working families. Politicians promised that things would get easier, and some numbers did look promising. Yet when it came to the essentials, food, energy, housing, prices stayed high for most people. Even as some costs slowed their rise, they didn't actually go down, and many families still felt squeezed. These prices are shaped by many factors, not just one policy or trend. Global supply chains, local shortages, weather events, and even corporate decisions all play a role in what you pay at the store or at the pump. To really understand what's happening, we need to look past the headlines and dig into the details. It's not just about inflation going up or down, it's about how those changes actually affect your wallet, your choices, and your daily life. In this video, we'll break down why costs for things like groceries and rent stay high, even when inflation is under control. We'll explore the hidden reasons your bills might not be shrinking, and why some prices seem stubbornly stuck. We'll skip the political blame game and focus on the real reasons behind your financial pressures. It's not just about who's in charge, it's about the complex web of factors that shape your everyday expenses. So, let's get a clear, practical look at what's really happening with your money. By the end of this video, you'll have a better understanding of why your bills might not be getting smaller, and what you can do to take control of your finances, no matter what the headlines say. Let's talk about inflation, a word you hear all the time. It pops up in news headlines, in conversations at the dinner table, and even when you're out shopping. But what does it really mean for your everyday life? Inflation means prices are rising, and your dollar buys less. Every trip to the grocery store or gas station seems to cost a little more than before, and you might notice your paycheck doesn't stretch as far as it used to. When officials say inflation is slowing, it doesn't mean prices are dropping. It's easy to think that a lower inflation rate means things are getting cheaper, but that's not the case. It just means prices are still going up, but not as quickly. The rate of increase is slowing down, but the direction is still upward. Think of it like driving slower uphill. You're still climbing, just not as fast. The hill represents rising prices, and even if you slow down, you're still moving higher, not rolling back down. So, if eggs jump from $2 to $4, a slower inflation rate might mean they go to $4.10 next year, not back to $2. The price rarely, if ever, returns to where it started. Instead, it just increases at a gentler pace. This is why, even when you hear that inflation is cooling off, you don't see prices falling at the store. The higher prices from past inflation become the new normal, and each year's increase builds on top of the last. The higher prices from past inflation become the new normal. Your budget has to adjust, and what used to be a splurge might now be a necessity. Even if the inflation rate is low, it's on top of already high costs. That means you're still paying more than you did a few years ago, and it can feel like you're always playing catch-up. In 2017, inflation was about 2%, stable, but after years of increases. That 2% was added to prices that had already climbed over time, so the impact is cumulative. For families, that means less money in your pocket, even if the news sounds positive. A good inflation report doesn't mean relief at the checkout counter. It just means the pain isn't getting worse as quickly. The real issue isn't just one year, it's the long-term trend of rising prices. Over time, even small increases add up, making it harder to save, plan, or enjoy the same lifestyle as before. That's why your budget still feels tight. The effects of inflation linger. shaping your daily choices and long-term plans, even when the headlines say things are improving. Understanding this helps you see why managing your money feels tougher, and why it's important to keep an eye on the bigger picture, not just the latest numbers. Every trip to the grocery store brings a familiar feeling, the sting of a high bill at checkout. Whether you're shopping for a big family or just picking up a few essentials, the total at the bottom of your receipt is a constant reminder of how much it costs to put food on the table these days. For many households, the grocery bill is one of the biggest monthly expenses, and it's a direct reflection of the rising cost of living. Even when you try to cut back or shop smart, it can feel like your money just doesn't stretch as far as it used to. You might notice that even when the news says inflation is slowing down, the prices on the shelves don't seem to drop. In fact, food prices often stay stubbornly high, leaving shoppers frustrated and wondering why relief never seems to come. The answer lies in the complex journey your food takes from farm to table. This journey is called the supply chain, and it's made up of many steps: growing, harvesting, processing, transporting, and finally, selling food in stores. Each step adds costs, and those costs add up quickly. Transportation is a major factor. When fuel prices go up, it costs more to move food from farms to factories and then to your local store. Trucking companies, delivery drivers, and shipping companies all pass those extra costs along, and they end up in your grocery bill. Labor is another big piece of the puzzle. When wages for farm workers, truck drivers, and grocery store employees rise, those increases are reflected in the price you pay at checkout. It's not just about the food itself, it's about the people who help bring it to you. Then there's the weather. Droughts, floods, and storms can damage crops and reduce the supply of food. When there's less to go around, prices go up. These events can happen anywhere in the world, but their effects are felt right in your local store. Global trade also plays a huge role. If another country faces a shortage and needs to import more wheat, corn, or other staples, it can drive up prices everywhere, including here at home. The world's food markets are connected, so what happens overseas can hit your wallet too. All these factors, fuel, labor, weather, and international trade, combine to make food prices quick to rise but painfully slow to fall. Even when one cost goes down, another might go up, keeping your grocery bill high. Back in 2017, families were already feeling the pinch at the supermarket, and for many, not much has changed. The struggle to afford healthy, fresh food is still very real for millions of people. Even small price increases on everyday staples like bread, milk, and eggs can add up fast. Over the course of a month, those extra dollars can make a big difference in your budget. That's why, no matter what the headlines say about the economy, your grocery bill rarely seems to shrink. The system is complicated, and price drops are slow to reach your wallet. The food supply chain is a tangled web, and every link in the chain affects what you pay. Relief from high prices takes time, and sometimes it feels like it never comes at all. For many families, the cost of food remains a top financial stress, forcing tough choices at the checkout counter and at home. Until the system changes, your food bill is likely to stay high. Utility bills, electricity, gas, are another unpredictable expense. Even if oil or gas prices drop, your bill might not. That's because much of your bill pays for infrastructure, power plants, lines, repairs. These costs don't disappear when fuel gets cheaper. Utilities also invest in new energy sources like wind and solar, which are expensive to build. Those costs are passed on to you over many years. Weather matters too. A hot summer or cold winter spikes demand and prices. So, your energy bill stays high, regardless of daily fuel prices. Infrastructure, investments, and weather all keep costs up. That's why your utility bill rarely goes down. For many, rent is the biggest monthly expense, and it keeps rising. Unlike gas prices, rent almost never goes down. The main reason: supply and demand. More people want to rent than there are available homes, especially in cities. New construction can't keep up, slowed by high costs and red tape. Rising land, labor, and material costs push rents higher. Higher interest rates make building even more expensive. As rents rise, saving for a home gets harder, keeping more people renting. This cycle keeps demand and prices high. In 2017, renters felt this squeeze more than ever. Healthcare is another cost that keeps rising, often faster than inflation. Insurance premiums, deductibles, and drug prices all add up. The system's complexity and expensive new treatments drive costs higher. Even with insurance, out-of-pocket expenses can be huge. Prescription drugs, especially for chronic conditions, are a major burden. Rising premiums and high deductibles mean healthcare is a constant financial risk. For many, it's an expense that quietly erodes financial security. Ever notice how your favorite coffee or snack gets pricier bit by bit? Businesses raise prices slowly to avoid scaring off customers. Instead of a big jump, you get small increases over time. Sometimes you pay the same but get less. Think smaller bags of chips. That's shrinkflation. Companies do this to manage their own rising costs. Even if their expenses drop, they may not lower prices right away. The result, prices are sticky and slow to fall. Today's prices often reflect costs from months ago. That's why you still feel the squeeze, even when the news is good. Understanding this helps explain why relief is slow to reach your wallet. So, what can you do when prices keep rising? Focus on what you can control, your financial habits. Start with a flexible budget. Track spending and adjust as costs change. Build an emergency fund, even if you start small. Pay down high-interest debt to free up cash flow. Look for ways to grow your income, like new skills or side gigs. These steps matter more than waiting for prices to drop. Taking action puts you in control, no matter what the headlines say. Everyday costs are shaped by complex forces, supply chains, housing shortages, healthcare, and more. These aren't tied to one leader or party. The key is financial literacy and preparation. Learn to budget, save, pay down debt, and invest for the long term. Shift from reacting to prices to actively managing your money. You can't predict the future, but you can prepare for it. That's the surest path to financial peace of mind. The information provided in this content is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be considered financial, legal, or tax advice. Always consult with a qualified financial advisor, tax professional, or legal counsel before making any financial decisions. The creator of this content is not responsible for any actions taken based on the information provided. Investments and financial decisions carry risk, and past performance does not guarantee future results.